check out the latest CAT scan of Montserrat. We've got that and more to talk about today. It's time for another Nazca Mummy update. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, Montserrat is that amazing new specimen that was presented at the last press event that has, a metal implant in its forehead and various other implants around its body. That has an elongated skull, and it was pregnant at the time that it died. And it would have given a live birth. It would have had a live birth. It was a fetus inside Montserrat's womb, not an egg. Very, very different from the others, the other pregnant Nazca mummies that we've seen that have been egg-laying beings. Just a fascinating specimen. And here we have the latest CAT scan showing all these implants. I hope that we can understand what these implants are all about. That is just amazing. That is just amazing, guys. That is just amazing. And we've got Jaime Maussan talking about the research and also his own investment in all of this.
Primera parte la...
All right, let me translate. I'm not going to play the whole thing. The first part of the research was funded by Gaia. Calm, let's say, until 2019. DNA, carbon-14, trips to Peru, access to bodies, because everything cost a lot. And then in 2019, they retire, Gaia. They deliver the bodies to the University of Ica and leave. From then on, the expenses are mine. Hey, I've spent easily more than $1 million. $1 million Jaime Maussan has spent of his own money. Maybe he has raised this, I don't know, but he has been the one responsible for keeping this going, and it has been expensive. Hats off to Jaime. Thank you so much. Without Jaime, we wouldn't be aware of the Nazca mummies in all likelihood. There's several real key people, including Thierry Jaman, that are responsible for us knowing about the Nazca mummies. But Jaime Maussan is obviously critical to this, and he's not afraid to spend his own money on it. I think that is awesome. And here's Jaime Maussan talking about the American researchers, principally Dr. McDowell, who have now become involved in the research. What I'm going to tell you first is very important. Dr. John McDowell, who is the Nobel Prize winner in forensics. He didn't win the Nobel Prize, but something equivalent to that. Check him out. Go to the internet. Review him, and you'll realize the level that the man has. He went there, analyzed the bodies, and Jaime told me I couldn't find any traces of fraud. The fingers are not armed. The hands were not cut off. I don't have a definition. I don't have one. No. In 2 days, I'm not going to give a final verdict. I have to continue investigating. It took thousands of plates. Everything is being analyzed, and he just told me yesterday or the day before that they are willing for me to do a personal interview with him where they are going to tell me everything. All right, well, I can't wait for that to come out. Gary Nolan has been talking about this. From David Haythan. Thank you, David. Professor Gary Nolan was asked to get involved with the Peruvian mummies with a proposal that they would follow me around the laboratory with a camera. He said, "No, you won't." That's just not how it's done. He added, "It needs to be done behind closed doors." Well, okay, we can agree to disagree on that, but followed by a report to go to peer review. He said a real study would need somewhere on the order of about $2 million a year for 2 to 3 years to bring the right kind of people to do it. He commented that new bodies brought forward look a little more interesting and notes that new scientists brought in offering their services for free are of the caliber I think is required. I think he's talking about people like Dr. McDowell. He said he would be happy to advise a little bit if they get results that look interesting on how to write a scientific paper. But his advice is to resist the urge to do a press conference. Do a press conference after you get it accepted and published. Very interesting, very interesting. And these are the scientists and doctors that he's talking about. Dr. James Caruso, Chief Medical Examiner and Coroner of the City and County of Denver, Colorado. The Chief Medical Examiner. Very nice. Dr. William Rodriguez, the Forensic Anthropologist, Maryland State Medical Examiner. And of course, Dr. John McDowell, Retired Professor at the University of Colorado, Forensic Odontologist. I think I got that right. Joyce Mantilla is also talking about the latest scans about in this case, Maria. If the North American forensic team had seen obvious manipulation under fluoroscopy and digital tomography, in addition to their physical inspection of the Nazca mummies, they would have reported it. They have been eager to continue investigating, and we are going to facilitate it. Well, that is awesome. That is awesome, Joyce. I love it. Here is a piece, an almost a 20-minute piece on Reuters about the Nazca mummies. I think that's wonderful. Now, of course, it's not like saying these are definitely alien beings, but it is talking about them and getting the word out about the Nazca mummies. And that is all to the good. I love it. I love it. Raising public awareness about the mummies. That is a good thing. In Nazca mummies is talking about the similarities between the Nazca mummies and the Russian corpse that I've talked about before. Upper mandibular beak, orbits, the torso and shoulders, protruding stomach. Of course, in that case, I think the stomach is protruding because it's pregnant, so I'm not sure if that's quite a good comparison. But either way, I'm glad that more people are talking about the similarities between the bodies of the one found in Siberia and the Nazca mummies. If that is a real body and not a hoax, then we could be looking at something very similar to the Nazca mummies alive and running around today. That is so cool. That is so cool. And the Dr. McDowell, just a clarification on whether he won the Nobel Prize or not. Gonzalo Chavez says he is mentioned as the recipient of the Nobel of Forensic Sciences, the RBH Gradwell Prize in 2024. And he was accompanied by the other doctors that we've talked about. Officials from the Ministry of Culture, Public Ministry, Municipality of Lima, and the National Police of Peru were present during their evaluation. The Post encourages Peruvian scientists and those from other nations who are interested in the investigation to feel welcome to participate, and suggest to those who wish to follow the government's narrative or express opinions from their mobile phones in a cafe continue to do so. Okay, all right, very good, very good. I love it. I love that these American scientists are getting on board with this. Incredible History says 7 facts about the Nazca mummies. The site where these were allegedly discovered is unknown and has not been properly studied. And I've heard that it may be multiple sites. Sometimes I've seen one site listed, and sometimes I've seen 2. One time I even saw 3 sites, possible sites where these bodies were coming from. So I don't know quite what the truth is, how many sites there are. It seems like the location of these sites or site has been very carefully under wraps. It's very frustrating. But either way, it's not been properly studied. I think we can all agree on that. 2, the person that supposedly discovered these is a Wakero, a tomb raider, and has made a living illegally selling artifacts and antiquities. But if it weren't for tomb raiders, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't know about the Nazca mummies. Three, it's been over 8 years since the mummy Maria was presented to the public, and no one has found any form of manipulation. That's not to say there isn't or that there won't be, but in 8 years, not one credible scientist has shown clear evidence of manipulation on Maria. And indeed, I think Dr. McDowell has done a preliminary examination of at least one of Maria's feet, and he found there was no manipulation. Now, that's just a preliminary result. We don't have his official findings yet. Hopefully, we will get that in the near future. But yeah, he was saying that Maria's foot is unaltered, which is very important because Maria is a tridactyl being. She has 3 fingers and 3 toes. So if her foot is unaltered, that means she is a genuine tridactyl being. That's huge. That's huge. And somebody at McDowell's level who won a Nobel-like prize or whatever, that's huge. Yeah, the Nobel Prize of Forensic Science. And that's exactly the sort of person we need looking at this. So that's amazing. According to that gentleman, early preliminary results, she is a genuine tridactyl being. That's huge, guys. That's huge. 5, the Ministry of Culture has not studied the mummies in question at Ige University. They would love to confiscate them, I'm sure, though, and hide them away so that nobody could ever study them. 6, some of the mummies have been sold to collectors. If this ends up being a hoax, there is a clear monetary incentive by the Huaquero. Yeah, there is a clear incentive to sell it to the collectors. That's who's really paying for this. That's where the money is. So, that's, unfortunate that some of these bodies are going to these, private collectors. We have heard that one of the giant heads, one of the 3-meter tall beings, one of their heads has been sold to somebody in Hollywood. Will that person open it up to scrutiny or, science? Well, they haven't so far. 7, the American team that came to Peru for a preliminary analysis has determined that more analysis is needed. Well, that's what you're going to get with scientists. In other words, they could not determine with their initial analysis whether these were or were not fakes. No, they haven't concluded their analysis yet, but their initial preliminary findings so far are very encouraging. So yeah, I love it. It's awesome. Let's see, is there anything else? This was kind of interesting. Not a puppet, but yeah, no cuts, no stitches, no glue, intact joints, intact tendons, intact vascular system. This is one of the early Nazca mummies that may be the real aliens, and the human-sized ones may be more hybrids of some sort. So these may be the genuine aliens, the little guys. Hollow bones everywhere, only seen in birds and dinosaurs. Hollow vertebrae have only been seen in one extinct dinosaur. Metal implants made of aerospace-grade silver and osmium, worth thousands of dollars. So yeah, they were not made to sell on the black market. There are no known animals with circular ribs. No signs of fabrication. Carbon dating for this specimen, 700 to 1,000 years old. These eggs have been imaged and sampled. They are connected to the vascular system and contain embryos. Yes, and with Montserrat, the fetus was nestled in a complex capillary structure, in the womb, as a baby is, impossible to fake. So there you go. There's a roundup on some of the latest news involving the Nazca mummies. We've got American scientists on board now. We're awaiting their official findings. Jaime Maussan has spent $1 million of his own money or his company's money, on this. So again, big hats off to Jaime. He gets a lot of flack. But he has also done so much good. So thank you, Jaime. And I can't wait to see more of this research and analysis. I can't wait for people like Dr. McDowell to make it acceptable for mainstream doctors and scientists in America and other places to talk about and investigate. This is huge, guys. This is UFO disclosure. I love it. But it's only UFO disclosure if people acknowledge that it's real. But we're getting there. We are getting there, guys. This is awesome days. This is awesome days. I love it. Okay, but let me know what you think about all of that in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.